Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots the King. Thank you guys as always for liking, sharing, subscribing. It's that time. We are so close to the draft. April 26th is literally right around the corner. So I'm going to be doing content every day, whether it's a scouting report, whether it's topics like this, whether it's rankings, position battles, who fits best with the Cowboys, anything that my peanut brain can think of, I'm going to give it to you all. So to think that the Cowboys won't take a receiver high, rounds 1 through 3 is foolishness. We obviously released Dez, and so I wanted to kind of rank these guys based on these categories: speed, play speed, route running, run after catch, size, jump ball, and special teams. I used DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, James Washington, Courtland Sutton, and Calvin Ridley. You guys may have a couple other receivers in your top 5, maybe guys like EQ St. Brown, Anthony Miller, Deshaun Hamilton, a couple others, but these are my top 5. So let me know what you guys think. Let's just talk about it. Let's have good dialect, and we'll see who ends up with who checks the most boxes at the end of this discussion. But hey, these are my thoughts, and listen, the Cowboys are gonna get a receiver high. So speed, just flat out, Calvin Ridley. He's been the cleanest receiver this year. The way he eats up a cushion in zone coverages, the way that if you don't get your hands on him, if you don't get physical with Calvin Ridley, if you give him a free release, basically you're in trouble. So just that flat out speed. Then he went to the combine and justified it. Ran a 4.1, I believe, 4.1 or 4.2. So his speed on and off, like in football situations, is really good. And then he backed it up with his testing numbers. So I like Calvin Ridley for the speed box. He checks off the speed box, guys. What do you guys think? Play speed. Now, play speed is different than like straight line speed. Play speed to me is like the way that basically like as fast as you play, like at all times. And I think DJ Moore checks off that box. He really is a Steve Smith comp. And you'll see later in this video why I give him that comp, but his play speed is really good. A hard guy to tackle, a hard guy to get your hands on and press, or in like zone. Well, you're not gonna get your hands on him in zone covers, but I just like DJ Moore a lot. I think he's a very smooth player, and I think that he brings it on every single play. That's why he checks off this box that is play speed. Now, let's talk more about Calvin Ridley, and he checks off the route running box. For me, Calvin Ridley is so smooth. His hips, his footwork, his ankle flex. People don't really think about those things, but again, eats up that separation. If you're not in sound technique, or if you don't get your hands on him, I really believe that Calvin Ridley will destroy you. Now, he's only 190 pounds, if that. So that could have a lot to do with it, but he put it on tape against really good competition in the SEC. If you don't get your hands on Calvin Ridley, he will eat you alive. A Marvin Harrison type comp. Really good route runner. Size, Courtland Sutton. And not just size, but ultimately Courtland knows how to use his size. That is, so important. Now, he actually went to SMU as a safety, and he actually played tight end and safety in high school. Really good basketball player. So he's a physical guy. You kind of like that. I think the Dallas would like that. Jason Garrett has had a bunch of interest in Courtland Sutton. But like I said, he knows how to use his size. He's not like a pretty boy like Terrell Pryor. He knows how to use his size. Hands. James Washington by far wins this check. He checks this box. Nonetheless, he has the best hands out of the group. The softest hands. Isn't the fastest, even though at the combine he checked off that box. Ran like a sub 4.4, I believe. And at the Senior Bowl, he showed very well. James Washington had a bunch of questions, like how would he fare playing in the Big Ten, but I like him a lot. And his hands. He just catches the ball so clean. And defenders can't rip through him. Very stout, strong player. So doesn't have the size of like a Courtland Sutton, but you really like James Washington a lot and what he could do for you. Now, jump ball goes back to Courtland Sutton. So now Courtland Sutton has checked 2 boxes, and so has Calvin Ridley. So it's getting tight there. But Courtland Sutton, again, knows how to use his size, knows how to box players out. Like I gave you the example about Terrell Pryor. There's a couple other receivers in the league who are big guys, kind of long striders, but they don't use their size to their advantage, their jump ball ability to their advantage. I think that Courtland Sutton does. He will box you out. Run after catch. So we're going to give this one back to DJ Moore. And it's just his feet. It's just his tenaciousness. It's just the way that he plays the game. Like I said, he plays kind of angry. And he's built kind of like a running back, like a small scat back. But, you know, great hands. Look at it right there. Just a stiff arm. Like I said, you just like everything about DJ Moore. I didn't even realize that he was 6 feet. So, again, I think run after catch has to go to DJ Moore, just what he could bring you. You know, he runs violent, good feet, quick feet, really twitched up, really twitchy. Just a good, and listen, and that Maryland offense, he was all that they had. So I remember watching him. Special teams goes to Christian Kirk. Has 6 career punt returns for touchdowns. And listen, Christian Kirk could have filled a lot of these boxes. His route running is really good. Just ask Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick will tell you that he was one of his hardest covers. He has that breakaway speed. But I just gave him the special teams title just because he's not great to me. Even his hands really aren't great. But he's kind of like a jack of all trades. And again, run after the catch, he can do a little bit of that as well, but he was just my special teams guy. And like I said, he's a top 5 guy for me, but I didn't really want it. He couldn't go over any of these guys. So in the end, DJ Moore checked off 2 boxes: play speed, run after catch. Calvin really checked off 2 boxes: route running and speed. And Courtland Sutton checked off 2 boxes, size and jump ball. What do you guys think about these receivers? Why don't you guys do a rating in the comments and let me know, who stands out, who doesn't? Give me your thoughts and let's debate about it. Let's talk about it. If you want to jump or bring some of your guys' receivers in there, go ahead. EQ St. Brown, Anthony Miller, who you think is best. Let's just talk about it. And as always, thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. More content coming to you up until April 26th, y'all. I'm just going to go ham all draft. Let's talk about it. Peace.